let's continue with our discussion of the formula option for conditional formatting with two more examples. So our file is formula temp2. Okay, so let's go back to global warming data. Let's highlight, let's say, the top 10 warmest years. 10 warmest years, or the 20 warmest years, whatever. Not the temperatures. Okay? We know how to highlight the 10 or 20 warmest temperatures, but we want to highlight the years because that's more interesting. Okay, so we're going to need a function that gives us a cutoff for the formatting, and this will be the large function. If you say large and you give me an array, say comma 10, that'll be the 10th largest number in the range. If you say there's a small function, if you say small, an array or range of cells, let's say comma 5, would be the 5th smallest number. These are very useful functions. And so if you did large array, range comma 1, you get the maximum. Small array comma 1, you get the minimum. Okay, so suppose we want the 10 warmest years. So let's put a 10 there. So in other words, we'll say how many, and we are going to say what's the cutoff? Well, the cutoff would be the 10th largest temperature. So I could say large in the temperature column, comma, and I'll point to that cell to make this dynamic. So in other words, when I change this from 10 in there to 20, I could get the cutoff for the 20 warmest years, etc. But let's do 10. All right. So what I want to do is highlight the 10 warmest years. So what I should do is select the year column, and then I should say, okay, when would you want to highlight that year? If what's right to the right of that cell, which would be F5, is greater than or equal to what's in L15. But that has to be $, because when you copy this down, you don't want L15 to change. Now the F doesn't have to be, now you could $, the F here, it wouldn't really matter. Okay, because when you're copying it down, you just want the 5 to change to 6, but let's just leave it like that. So in other words, if I would do equals F5 greater than or equal to, and I would just point to that L15, whenever that's a true statement, $, okay, then I would want to highlight the year. Okay, and see, those don't become true until near the bottom. Okay. So what I would do is select this range, conditional formatting, new rule, use a formula, and I would say equals F5, no $, greater than or equal to whatever's in L15, $. So do format, fill, yellow shows up well. So now the 10 warmest years should be highlighted. There they are. Now if you have like a 30, a 20, then it's going to highlight the 20 warmest years. So that does exactly what we want there. Let's try one more example from the world of sports, baseball. Okay, so what I've got here are baseball stats, 2014 Major League Baseball hitting stats. And suppose you're working for a baseball team and you want to create a screen that would highlight basically all players, let's say, hitting above a certain batting average, having at least a certain number of home runs, and at least a certain number of stolen bases. So we'll put a cutoff in. So our cutoff on average, let's suppose it's 280. Let's suppose our cutoff on home runs is 20, and our cutoff on stolen bases is 10. So we'd like to highlight the whole row for any player that hit at least 280 in the batting average column, at least 20 in the home run column, and at least 10 in the stolen base column. Okay, and then we could sort on color and bring those guys to the top if we wanted. And you see the screen up here, the three screens can be set to any number. So now the trick is to highlight the entire row. Okay, and so we're going to need to have dollar signs in a fairly subtle way here. Okay, so basically what we're going to want to do is select all the data from row 7 on, and then basically say we need an AND function in our formatting new rule. So we're going to say, and if the average column is at least 280, and the home runs is at least 20, and the stolen base is at least 10, highlight that. Okay, so we select here. Okay, so we go Home, Conditional Formatting, New Rule, Use a Formula, equals AND. Okay, now we got to be careful here. Okay, so we'd say if the batting average column, now we need the dollar sign the O and not the 7, because when we copy that down, okay, we want it to change to an 8, but whatever cell we're in, we want to look at batting average. So we need 07 greater than or equal to batting average H3. Everything must be dollar sign, because when you copy that down across, you got to pull from H3. Then we're going to look at the home runs. You need the dollar sign the M there, not the 7, greater than or equal to the home runs. And then we want stolen bases. You need the dollar sign the N. Like that. And we'll say format, fill, yellow. And that did not work, so let's see why. So if I go Home, Conditional Formatting, Manage Rules, aha, I forgot to type a greater than or equal to there. So that's actually a useful mistake to see, because these things happen. Okay, now it works. So Michael Brantley, Andrew McCutcheon, is there anybody else here? Carlos Gomez, and that's about it. Met my screen. Now if I reduce this to 5 stolen bases, I bet I get a lot more guys there. See, I do. See, the stolen base. The 10 stolen bases there. I also get more guys. I get Mike Trout, Stanton, who got the big contract at Rendon. If I say 1 stolen base, I probably get a lot more guys. There's certain guys who just don't steal bases, like Martinez, Abreu, and Cabrera. They don't steal bases. Now, if I say you got to hit 300 and hit 30 home runs and steal at least 5 bases, there's nobody who did that. But if I'd say 1 stolen base, I get Martinez and Abreu there. Okay. Now, if I reduce that to 25 home runs and 290, you can see basically I get a fair number of players. Okay, and then I can sort on color and bring those guys to the top. So the key here was to use, if I do Home Conditional Formatting, Manage Rules. Okay, the key is to use the AND sign and put the dollar signs in the right place there. Now, one little trick here, if you use the F5 key, you can highlight the range where there are conditional formats. F5 special. Highlights the range in the spreadsheet where there are conditional formats. So let's select the whole spreadsheet, and I'll do F5 special. And if I would say conditional formats, then see we've got highlighted in blue all the cells that basically contain conditional formats. So this is useful if somebody has done conditional formats to find out where they are in a spreadsheet. Okay, we got one more video on conditional formatting, the stop if true option.
Okay, so thanks for watching, and there's a free course, a free 21-day course from Dr. Winston, and all of these videos are coming from one of three books. So first, this one, which you can see here at the top of the screen, Microsoft's book, which has 355 reviews, and then it's, let's see, 4.6 stars. It's coming from this book as well, his marketing analytics book, which is down here, and you can sort of see 4.5, or his newest book, his analytics stories book, which is here. And with that one, you can see it's 4 point something, or maybe even 5. I don't think it's 5. Yeah, 4.8. And so, yeah, anyways, in the description, there's a free 21-day course from Dr. Winston, or you can go to excelwithwayne.com/free, and it'll be there. But again, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, just please let us know. Thanks.